Hello everyone and welcome back to the next installment of our 9.1 raid guides. This is Crzypck from Complexity Limit, and today we're going to show you how to kill Soulrender Dormazain in the Sanctum of Domination on Heroic mode. This is a single phase encounter with ads coming out periodically. There's also a Heigen the Unclean style dance mechanic that you'll be doing a few times. Oh, and Garish Hellscream is being tortured throughout the encounter, which causes additional mechanics to occur. Before we get into the mechanics, let's talk about the room itself. Inside the encounter area, you'll see 3 lines on the floor that look like chains, separating the room into 4 quadrants. At the very front of the room, you'll see Garish Hellscream all chained up and floating. He's surrounded by what's called the River of Souls, which deals heavy damage if you stand in it. Do not stand in the obviously bad looking area that Garish is being held in. Okay, onto the mechanics. When Soulrender Dormazain casts Torment, he adds a little bit of extra pain to Garish's torture, which will cause 3 quadrants of the room to be covered in anima. This explodes after a short time, dealing massive damage to anybody hit, and also applying a nasty dot that lasts for 6 seconds. The dot stacks, so if you manage to actually get hit twice by this, the raid leader won't be mad at you, just disappointed. This ability is cast roughly every 45 seconds. When the boss reaches 100 energy, he'll use Tormented Eruptions, which is basically 5 consecutive casts of Torment over 30 seconds. This is the dance part of the fight. You'll be running back and forth across the room to whatever quadrant is safe, and you'll likely be losing a few raiders along the way. Make sure to stop and /point and /laugh at the slowpokes who die. If you have them available, you should utilize raid movement speed abilities here, like Stampeding Roar or Windrush Totem. The next ability is called Warmonger Shackles. The boss will create 3 visible shackles on the ground near Garish, which connects to him with chains. This causes Garish to start a 35-second cast called Hellscream. If it completes the cast, he'll deal massive raid-wide damage every second, basically wiping the raid. To interrupt this cast, you'll need 3 different players to run to a shackle, click it, and then run away from the shackle's location. After getting 40 yards away from where Garish is, the shackle will break. This deals a large chunk of raid damage though, so you have 2 different ways to keep the raid safe when clearing the shackles. Option 1 is to just stagger breaking the chains over several seconds. The other option is to have the raid stack near the front of the room, pop a damage reduction cooldown like AMZ or a barrier, plus maybe another healing cooldown, and just break all 3 at once. Additionally, when a player breaks a shackle, they get a permanent debuff that'll take every 3 seconds for the remainder of the encounter and prevent that player from interacting with another shackle. Once all 3 shackles are broken, Garish stops being a little diva and Hellscream is interrupted and you just get to move on with your lives. The boss has 2 other main abilities. Brand of Torment puts the Sargeras' Rage graphic from Mythic Argus around several players. This doesn't deal any damage to the affected players, but instead it deals damage to anybody else standing within the really obvious red graphic, including any of the ads on the fight. Additionally, any of the ads that are standing in the graphic will take 50% increased damage. Ruin Blade is the big tank slap for the fight, dealing heavy physical damage and leaving an increased physical damage taken debuff. Tanks just need to swap after every cast. In addition to this, Garish will periodically throw out some swirlies on the ground called Rendered Soul. These swirlies are bad, don't stand in them. Please note, these swirlies do tend to overlap with both Torment and Tormented Eruptions, so make sure you watch your feet when you're doing the dance. There's also a handful of ads that you'll need to deal with. Mossware and Agonizers spawn periodically in sets of 3 or 4. These start walking towards Garish. If any of them reach him, they'll get buffed, increasing their damage by 200% and making them immune to all forms of crowd control. They also cast Agonizing Nova, which deals mild shadow damage to the raid and reduces the movement speed of everybody in the group for 6 seconds, but this is interruptible. You'll want to keep them slowed and utilize knockbacks and grips to stack the ads up. Have your players with Brand of Torment stacked directly on the ads. This will make them basically fall over, even from a marksman hunter's AoE. And really, that's pretty much all there is to say on this fight. Don't get hit by Torment, do the Torment Eruptions dance, dodge swirlies, blow up the ads, clear the shackles, and nuke down the boss. We recommend using Bloodlust on pull and just hammering into Dormazain as hard as you can. Keep everyone alive, don't do anything stupid, and collect your purples. If you enjoyed this guide, remember to like it and make sure you're subscribed to the channel to catch all of our previews, guides, kill videos, and more. From the team here at Complexity Limit, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.